The short, small man like me has to realize when I talk because of my height, because of my big belly, 47 inches around of girth, because of my moon face, round features and large features, E.T., because of Humpty Dumpty head, no neck, and posture pulled down, broken, because of the proportions and the big belly, which pulls everything down, and then no neck makes the head, gives me projected head. All of which destroys the presence, destroys the personality. I have the malocclusion. So you see what happens? Smiling very difficult. If you don't smile, you're going to have problems, especially when you talk to the woman. Now the man's short, he's dumpy, and he doesn't have natural energy and enthusiasm. He's not interesting. Visually, he's ridiculous looking. Visually, they're not an item together. Anybody will challenge the short, small man. And he has to recognize he's going to have to share that woman. He cannot be jealous. He cannot be possessive when the better man comes along. And when I say better, I mean more talented shucker, jiver, chatter, who could chat him up better. He's got a pretty smile, the personality, the presence, the timing. The height is one of the most important factors, the grooming, all of it taken together. Short, small man must make himself disappear himself under his own power. He's got to be a moving target, like Sinatra. Sinatra was a short man, 5'7", but he's a moving target, a charismatic moving target. You don't want to stand next to the bigger man, and when I say bigger, I mean taller. That's the connotation of it. Short is small, is little, is tiny. Tall is big. And the phony connotation is powerful. That may or may not be true. But he's the personality boy. He's got a lot of hash marks on his sleeve, a lot of successes out there. My short, small man like me does not have. So you have to be a moving, fast moving target. And you have to come into the game very, very, very well prepared. You have to anticipate so much and be ready to move in any direction. Still center calm. Mishan, no mind. Don't react, respond as much as possible, but sometimes you have to react. You're trained to do that. So you can do it by, what do you call it, by uh, habit, force of habit is the word I'm looking for. Force of habit. It's automatic response. The unnatural becomes the natural. The natural thing to do, of course, is what I did: cower, genuflect, look up to the tall man. Look to him as a hero figure. Look to him to see if he'll talk for me, if he'll be my personality, if he'll set me up with a woman, if I can pick up his vacuum. Do you see the foolishness and the insanity of this kind of reasoning? Of course, it never happens. It's each man for himself. None has the time. Each has their own. Don't make anybody else your reality, your power. Grab the bull by the horns. This is not pithy saying. This is the truth. Get your own responsibility. Get on your own self-supports and resources as quickly as possible. Don't go down the road to perdition with a phony image, projecting away the phony image that the tall man, the better looking man, the more sweet personality and all that we've been conditioned to by marketing to sell items. The beautiful people, quote unquote, and they're not beautiful if you take them apart. I can look at any of these so-called beautiful people. I'll take them apart. I'll bring them down to the ground. Believe me, I'll see the flaws. And that's how you have to think. But you have to be moved. But you can't do any of this. And this is the point of what I'm saying. If you're not very powerful in your body, when I say powerful, I mean very powerful. I mean brute power, terrific brute power. I mean ape power. I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't care if I looked like a big gorilla. You understand? So I scared every woman by my ugly presence from their point of view. But for his power, for his genetics, for the great joints, I'd say that would be my what do you call it? Faustian dream. I'd sell everything for that power, that gorilla, huge gorilla, that power that's in his body and the presence. If I had to look like him, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be a any doubt in my mind. If I had to spend the rest of my life on the Central Park bench, right on the Trump Tower, I'd do it gladly for the power of that gorilla to train hard, to drive good iron and lift good and perform good in the iron room, and then just give a tremendous power performance in that iron room and then just walk out. Not even waiting for any accolades because they mean nothing. Accolades, remember this, they mean nothing. They're easily given and easily taken back by the giver. Remember that. They don't mean anything. What you say about me, what you think about me, well, that's none of my business unless you say it to my face. And then I'm going to come back on you hard. I'm going to rip you. You have to be trained to do that. You have to think with that mentality. None of this is easy. You know, the old W.C. Fields said, never give a sucker an even break. Never give a weak man an even chance. And the son of a gun who said, women want a weak man, a meek man, a nice guy, a good guy. Don't believe that. I've never found that to be true. They want the bad boy. They want the one who looks like he can perform well socially and sexually. Virility is the word, excitement, interest. And the body has a lot to do with it. Never forget the body. It's a big player in all this. And it's also a big player in the subliminals, which determine everything. Subliminals being the body language, the posture, the presence, the image, what you talk, how you talk, and when you shut up and disappear. Sometimes you have to just shut up. I should say I have to, and I can generalize. Just shut up. Disappear. There's no advice. I've been outclassed here. But that doesn't mean you run away. You disappear under your own power, and then you're coming back with new tactics, new techniques, new strategy, and jumping right back in that arena in a contest, which of necessity is unfair. There is no entitlements. Zero. The better man is the man who won. Trump understands this. Winning's everything. If you keep fighting, you're a winner. That's true right there. That doesn't mean you got what you want. You have to know how to ask for what you want on a body level, on an image level, the body language, and with the words and the power behind the words. That doesn't mean you have to get it. We say to hell with it. Everybody's replaceable, you understand. There's substitutes for everything. Nobody's necessary. Knock off the codependency and the addiction to the presence. Knock it off. It's killing you. Nobody's necessary. Everybody's replaceable and easily replaceable. Then we live our lives vicarious pretense. We learn to give to ourselves, to glean what our society, for whatever reason, will not give us. And we're not jealous. We don't run a campaign. We get right back and transmute. Drive iron. Take it out. That should be a cattle prod. That should be an incentive to get you right back in that iron room and drive hard. Build your body tougher, stronger, punching power, grabbing power, gripping power, hurting power. Brute power is the name of the game. That has to emanate from your body. In other words, your body, even though you're 5'2" like me, should be so powerful in its presence that there's no question at all. There's no question at all. Think of a mob guy. There's no question at all that if this big man, say it's a Tony Robbins, for example, the giant, who leverages height and power and presence and makes millions doing it, but when he sees you, even though you're nearly a foot and a half shorter, he backs off, like he did with Mike Tyson. He backs off and he says, hey, this man can hurt me. I may be taller than him. I'm much taller than him. I may be bigger, but this man looks like he can hurt me real bad. I better show him some respect. Now you know what I'm talking about.